Well, we don't have as many people watching right now, but that's okay. It's going to be a bit more intimate. And maybe I should have given people a bigger heads up, but whatever. We're going to get going. I got my footnotes enabled. I'm ready to go. I might brew some coffee after this one. Okay. First thing I want to note is the description. So the description reads, "I'm a very weak person. In keeping with that, I have broken my word and taken down the real version of this video with my real reaction to what happened on screen. Obviously, my sister's soul means less to me than some shallow embarrassment over raising my voice. I'm sorry. It all happened before the shame could speak up. I already got rid of the real audio. I really don't know if there's anyone worse than me at making decisions. I never deserved her friendship." Being extremely hard on himself. Again, I think there might be some. There is obviously some baggage, some emotional baggage between him and his sister. I think he never really got closure, and that might be the point of the game. That's the thesis I'm currently operating on. What was I going to say? The other thing, though, is, yeah, he's like really hard on himself, and it seems to me, based on, I kind of like rewatched the first video just out of curiosity to see if I missed anything. It seems as though him and his sister had some kind of arrangement where he has promised something to her. And it isn't simply that he's going to play this video game. That it's the promise is a bit more complex than that. I think what he promised is that he would not only play this video game and finish it, but also record his reactions and upload them to YouTube. I think that is the full scope of the promise he made to his sister, and we don't quite know the reason why. We don't quite know the context of this arrangement. Like, why did he promise this? Is it simply because maybe he knew that she was dying? I don't know. But yeah. And now it seems as though his initial reaction to something that has occurred in the game has been basically taken down, and he has sort of, I guess, re-recorded his reaction to kind of temper his reaction. Maybe he was embarrassed. Yeah, he says it was over a shallow embarrassment. So he kind of feels as though he overreacted to something. But we don't know what that something is.
So, I just got done doing some finagling. Namely, I copied the game. I made a full copy that I'm using right now. I started a new game with that copy because I wanted to have a copy that I could use for experimentation and trying different things that I'm worried might affect my regular file in unsavory ways. So that's what we have here in front of you. The reason I have done that is I'm stuck and I want to try things because I really, really don't want to be stuck and never finish this game. And then... Anyway, what I want to try right now is a suggestion that I saw in the comments. So this is a freshly new game. I just started a new game, and you see that the checkpoint here is not active. It starts you outside the checkpoint. The suggestion I saw from a commenter was, before you step into a checkpoint, hi kitty, before you step into a checkpoint, try jumping into the spikes. I don't like this at all. But at this point, I'm willing to try just about anything. And so this happens to be within the realm of anything. And we're going to try that anything right now to see if it's going to spawn us somewhere special where we can finally go somewhere else. Let's do it.
Cool. So that's what he freaked out about? Yeah. He has excluded his real reaction to what happened on screen. Yeah, the protagonist's real name, or it seems as though the protagonist is referred to as Will. He also has a nickname, Teddy. I don't know what to make of that. I think we need to just move on. Okay, this seems to be a continuation. Okay. Hi, Apollo. It's your friend. Apollo is dealing with grogginess from a long, apathetic slumber. They're also experiencing discomfort from being indefinitely impaled by half a dozen gigantic spikes. Gary says the original version is basically the same video, just muted himself. Right. Okay. No mortal being will ever know what this pain is like because any mortal being would have died instantly. Apollo is very, very alive. This continues. Apollo can't hear you. This continues. Okay. So he chooses beg their freedom, beg for their freedom. And the response is, who do you think is in charge? Obviously, establishing, of course, that the sister is in charge. She has designed the game. This continues. Okay. So, you know, based on the players' interactions right now, it is very clear that they are that he is upset. as it was alluded to in the prior video description, he seems to have taken out the audio of which included his initial reactions to what's going on screen. So that's why we're not hearing his voice. So that's what's going on right now. He has chosen to dive into some spikes, and this is the consequence. Same thing. The sound of butterflies' wings, it's there, but you can't hear it. If you were to reach out, do you think you would feel a butterfly? Would you hold your arm out, waiting, expecting... Shit's too quick. Expecting it to perch on your skin? In your ignorance of its farm and place, would you accidentally strike it, ending its life? Its form, excuse me. Or would it ever exist to you at all? Do you even believe that it's there? The song of its wings rises and falls, but never ceases. It's a dirge of exhaustion sung by the undead, begging to reach cadence. But the butterfly doesn't land. It never will. This continues. Nothing happens. This continues. Somewhere in the universe, grass is growing. Bacteria clings for dear life. Bucked by the force. A breeze passes overhead. Everything changes. Not a single blade of grass will ever return to its exact yoctometer? What in God's name? I've never heard that word in my life. It will never angle to the same trillionth of a degree. Beneath the grass, a planet is being launched by the sun. Eternally unresting, locked in whiplash and vertigo, capsized every moment by G-forces, perfectly in control. It's strange. We're getting like a mix between like an epic poem and like this sort of inclusion of language relating to physics and astronomy. That's what I think is going on here. The grass ignores the earth entirely. They will never tell another of their adventures. This continues. Silence is judging you, or maybe that's just delusion. This continues. Hemorrhaging, suffocation, and neurogenic shock are killing Apollo deathlessly over and over. So, this is kind of... Yeah, I'm starting to think that maybe... I've said previously that maybe playing this video game would enable the protagonist to achieve some kind of closure with respect to the death of his sister. However, I'm starting to think that maybe maybe that's not the purpose of the video game. Maybe the purpose of the video game is to torture the protagonist. Yeah. Because, okay, so now, you know, he's chosen to, instead of going to the checkpoint, he chose to dive into the spikes. But Apollo is a god, right? So he can't die. So instead, he's just suffering. And it's like eternal suffering. So that seems to be what the game designer wants to impress upon the player, specifically her brother, is if he has chosen this option, he's being really hammered over the head with the concept that he has caused some kind of unbearable, eternal suffering, some kind of hell, really. Now, you have to ask yourself, why would she want to impress that notion upon her brother? Right? Is this revenge for something? Is it... Yeah. So this is taking kind of a turn here to the point where it almost seems malicious. And obviously it has evoked such a strong reaction by the player that he was kind of ashamed and has decided to completely mute his audio. This continues. Somewhere a child is bullied for the first time. The rest of their life alters irrevocably. This continues. Sagittarius A churns out at the center of the galaxy. Feeding it, bending you to its will. It was never alive, it feels no will. So there's a kind of double entendre there with the word will. Obviously the protagonist's name is Will. So some kind of message is trying to be conveyed here with respect to Will's absence, I think is the implication. This continues. An Olympian in training sits in a hospital bed. She didn't sleep well last night. Yesterday, she was going to live forever. But now the doctor brings her family in. Got a very... We have a pause here. It's stage 4. She doesn't have much time. She falls into the supermassive black hole. She's ripped apart at a molecular level. She fantasizes a world where she was never born, where her family is free of this. She wants to kill God with her bare hands. She prays. Her carefully strengthened heart still beats. This continues, but not for much longer. Pain is mortal. It can be outlived. That's what I've always done because I never knew better. It's a privilege that I think has caught up with me. If you let pain die while you still live, something goes wrong. Something is lost and nothing is gained back. I think you're supposed to make room so it has somewhere to stay with you. Then you can nurture it into something else. This really sucks ass, though. I don't want you to pity me. Being immortal isn't my choice. Whether that is a curse or a blessing is my choice. I choose to make this moment a gift. I'm forced to survive this, but I will grow from it on my own. Hopefully, somehow you will too. I'm going to help you pick up the shards of glass. It's why I'm right here, where I am, because you were looking. This is all I ever wanted. Not the spikes, but a chance to turn flowers into mighty trees, led by the heavens by sunlight. Led to the heavens by sunlight. I want to be the sun. I'm so lucky to have the chance. If you'll believe it, I'm reminded how lucky I really am. Because my spine is severed, and yet I can feel every single nerve in my legs pleading for death. Which means it's time to stand up. Oh, shit. Ow. Oh, my fucking fuck, go. Yeah. I keep the reflection of this moment. It's showing me something new. Yourself is being looked at. Yes, it's true. That experience will forever be broken glass beneath my memories. Sorry, I'm missing this. That experience will forever be broken glass beneath my memory's steps. But I just picked up a shard and I choose to carry it with me. I hope you can look through it too. What do you see? Does it send you forward or back? I'm actually powerless, you know. All my supposed power can only manifest in your mind. So whenever you're reflecting off me, try showing me any worlds you can find. Try showing me any words you can find. Then we can look together. Don't forget. So maybe it is some kind of, I don't know. I keep going back and forth on this because it seems like Apollo as a character has been introduced to the player, to Will, as maybe someone he can sort of project his reactions onto, and in a way that sort of allows him to express his pain. And perhaps that's supposed to serve as some kind of like, it's supposed to serve some kind of therapeutic function. But the game, in order for that to work, the game has to gradually introduce certain details that will reference, or in a very backhanded sort of way, allude to certain real world trauma. Yeah. I still can't tell. I mean, based on the resolution of this video, it seems like the purpose is to slowly start introducing some disturbing elements in order for the protagonist to sort of process what has actually happened, instead of continuing to be in this sort of denial stage. I think, if I had to guess. You are alive. That seems to be the end. Wow. I'm going to need a moment to process that.
And we...
Okay, so if you are caught up with the series, the newest one is premiering now. Feel free to go check it out. I can't watch it yet because that would be spoilers. Spoilers for me. Don't want to spoil it. But I would like to remind you to please subscribe to Diminish. I'm really enjoying the experience so far. I'm really interested to see where it goes. So check it out. Subscribe. Is the stream lagging? I'll just give it a moment. It might just be a hiccup, hopefully. Yeah, I definitely think this series deserves more subs. So yeah, there does seem to be some kind of allusion to, like, the idea that she was a very promising athlete. In the game, it says Olympian. So training to be in the Olympics. I don't know if that's literally true, or if it's supposed to be some kind of like symbolic thing, but it might make sense why Apollo is being referenced. We need to get them millions of subs. I don't know if I have the ability to do that, but I'll do the best I can. And so we've watched 8 and 9. I will move on to 10 in a moment here. Let's move on. I think we can get through. Excuse me. At the very least, the next two.
And we are back. Are you all ready to see a new area? Did you think that was even possible anymore? I didn't, but I found the new area. It is possible. It happened, and we're about to witness it. First off, I should say that this is still the new file. I decided to continue it and recollect everything that I already got, do everything that I already did. It just felt respectful toward what I put Apollo through to not pretend that it didn't happen. So this is the same file that happened. All this stuff from the last episode. That was a great time. I apologize for not having the microphone on during that episode, and I apologize for all of the freaking weird drama with the episode before that. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about all of that garbage, but I appreciate so much all of the concern that everybody was pouring out for me. I was just overreacting and being all confusing and...
Overreacting? Is he overreacting, or is he conveying the adequate amount of emotion entailed by working through an experience associated with the death of a loved one, specifically a sibling, which must have been incredibly traumatic? It's pretty clear to me that this guy is an emotionally repressed individual, which unfortunately is pretty common with men. It is very difficult in with the way that men have been socially conditioned. It is very difficult for us to express emotions other than the emotions you typically associate with men, such as rage, you know? So if that last video evokes some kind of emotional reaction, the reason Will is uncomfortable with showing that might have a little something to do with the sort of gendered ways in which people are expected to behave. Sophia Razone. I've been told that I'm quote-unquote overreacting many, many times for what I later learned was an appropriate or even non-zero response. Yeah. So I think if my working theory is correct, and that this is indeed intended to serve some kind of therapeutic function, part of the process would be for him to become more comfortable with showing real emotions instead of this sort of front that he puts up where he's like, "Hey guys, I'm this is hard. This is really hard. This game is really hard." You know, that's sort of a front. When in reality, it seems like the game is by design supposed to force him to confront some very upsetting things, and for him to convey the adequate emotional response and share that with people. And so he's sort of got to confront that the difficulty of that is part of the process, seems to me.
Stupid, and it is what it is, I guess. Staying positive now, and gaming. We're gaming. And are you ready to see the new area? So, if you recall, when there were carrots here, there was an arrow pointing right. And so, like the sheep I am, I took its word for it, its nonverbal word for it. What if we just were rebels? Oh my god, I got it! All right, that jump is actually ridiculously hard.
Yes.
Also, I noticed there's no music right now.
Welcome to another side of the same
like
coin.
that since I hit continue.
Sometimes
before,
the hardest thing to do
this video
is to turn
probably
around.
just a glitch, but it's very, very different feeling without some sort of sound going. All right, so this is the new area. Whoopee! Doesn't look great. Yeah, sure looks great, doesn't it? It's not. Spoiler alert. I did try a little bit of this next part before realizing, hey, I should be recording my unending failure because that's what people come to see, right? So now we're going to be engaged in that endeavor. And I hope you all are.
So this language that he uses with respect to his gameplay experience, this sort of eternal failure, this is all obviously a very elaborate front. It is a persona that operates as a kind of defense mechanism to sort of stave off any kind of authentic emotional response. Because it seems as though he's afraid of what would happen if he really did convey some kind of authentic emotional reaction. It seems like he is very uncomfortable with that prospect. So a lot of what you see in the game seems to me to be a very elaborate front.
We're excited because I'm not. But here we go. Okay. Now this part right here, let me tell you, it sucks. I'm pretty sure that indentation is just a red herring. So I'm gonna try and not spend this entire video doing these little adjustment jumps, but they are necessary, especially for this jump because I have to somehow. Okay, stop talking and just try it. There's nothing to be gained by not trying. Oh, that's what I didn't. I see. I didn't want to go into that alcove. I'm pretty sure that's just there to make it harder for me to line up the jump. See, like I won't be able to do adjustment jumps whenever I get into that alcove. It's so evil. And now I have to do this again, and I did it. Okay. Okay, we're back. Okay. I was not anticipating to have 2 attempts at this right off the bat. That's what I wanted! Okay. Now I'm pretty sure this part is a bit more straightforward. I almost died. Ah! No! I can't believe that. I thought the one before that was closer to dying than that one. That sucks, dude. But we are at a promising start right now. Well, okay. Okay, there we go. See, that's the part that's gonna suck. Okay, and we are free falling. All right. Okay. Good. I'm gonna try and not talk about how happy I am that I've gotten back here 3 times in a row. Well, not in a row. 3 times in quick order. Because if I do talk about that and how good I feel about that, then I'm going to immediately fall subject to a terrible, terrible half hour of not being able to get back here. Because of that first jump being actually really difficult, despite the fact that I'm making it every time.
I do think it's kind of interesting that, like, the idea that there might be some kind of parallel between playing a really difficult game and the process of grief. At least, I mean, this game is, or this series is set up in a really clever way. I think what he has just said here, what Will has just said, is kind of telling with respect to how he thinks. That is to say, there's a kind of magical thinking going on here. And specifically what I'm talking about is this idea that, oh, I got to this, this hidden area in the game. You know, if I talk about how happy I am with the fact that I've been able to get over to this part really quickly, a handful of times at this point, if I express my happiness about that, then I will be cursed for expressing that emotion. So that's kind of interesting, right?
This one is harder, though. Okay. Also, aren't you happy the carrots are back? Ah! That part's straightforward, but it doesn't mean it's easy. Oh, God. Okay, I should probably go into some level of explanation about this entire situation, because the last video probably made the general idea of it very clear, in case it wasn't already. And it's probably a good idea to train myself to being able to think about all this stuff without wanting to curl into a corner and do nothing for 6 hours. So whenever I'm not focusing on trying to get to the next part, I'll see if I can go into all of that. But for now... okay. I guess that'll be my punishment for all of my deaths, is talking about the stuff.
Again, a kind of magical thinking going on here, that the idea that having to talk about his emotions is a kind of punishment. And specifically, it's a punishment for his poor performance in the game, which, by the way, is set up intentionally to be infuriating. Will alludes to the idea that if he starts talking about the stuff, as he says, there is some concern that he will curl up in a corner for 6 hours and not be able to do anything. So he is so afraid of going there. It seems to be because it puts him in such a bad place that he cannot function. Right?
Okay. Whatever. Yeah, this is the part that I'm afraid of. How long it takes to get back to just attempting this first jump. Okay. That's gonna be so annoying. It already is, kind of. Yep, okay, that's what usually happens. That's why that is an incredibly tough jump. Because those spikes are live, and it's like a matter of 2 pixels getting the right wall jump to avoid them while still being able to progress. And I'm back, okay. I'm not giving myself much of a chance to talk about Teddy. Okay. Nice. Alright, I didn't know if I was going to make it to the wall there. Yep, okay, I knew it. That's actually fairly tight. Before I started recording, I was getting that section pretty well, and so now the roles are reversed, and I'm succeeding on the really, really tough jump every time, and failing the more straightforward ones. At least I'm getting this jump. That is such a relief. Okay. That was close. There we go. Okay. Okay. No!
Big skull up there.
I had never made it that far before. Moral of the story: don't climb up on that ledge. Cool stuff, boy! Okay, so sorry, I said I was gonna start talking about stuff and then I didn't. Okay, so what was probably being made obvious was this game was made by my twin sister. My baby sister, because I came out first. Okay, keep going. Her name was Theodora, which is a fucking gorgeous name, by the way, and it really grew on her when she got older, but she hated it when she was little, so she made everyone call her Ted. And when we got to elementary school, everyone started calling her Teddy, because she was the sweetest person in the world, and she was constantly giving people hugs. And she stayed that way her whole life. she wouldn't have been too thrilled with COVID. God, it would have driven her crazy to social distance. But yeah, everyone called her Teddy, and it stuck. But someday if I have a daughter, I really, really want to name her Theodora. That'll be the easiest decision in my life, as long as there's no resistance. I have to end up with someone first. Okay. God, that went off the rails so hard. Good Lord. There was a point to that, I swear. Yeah, the big point. Yeah, the big one. 4 years ago, Teddy was diagnosed with leukemia, stage 4. She had no chance. And then a few months later, she was dead. She was 22. It was absolutely pointless. It will never, ever make sense. Never. It will never make sense. But in that few months, she made this game. Because she had a lifetime worth of art inside her. And this is all she could belt out before she was silenced. It took me 4 years to play it, and I hate myself for that. I hate myself for that. But you don't need to know that. Oh, God, I'm sorry. I wish I could take that out. But I've already broken my promise enough at this point. I don't know, man. I've already muted myself for an entire video. I took down one. Oh, God. And I've been...
Right, so I hate to interrupt this monologue, but I just want to reiterate the point that the promise is not simply that he must play the game. The scope of this promise entails that he must record his reactions and put them on YouTube or, some public-facing forum. So that's interesting.
So cryptic about what the promise is. It's nothing like super crazy. It's just we made a promise that after she was gone, I would play this game, record it, and put it out there for the world. And part of it was that I couldn't do any re-recordings or second takes. I can make cuts for time as long as I'm not saying anything noteworthy, because whenever I talk about the game, I have to put it in. That's the part of the promise that I broke. But yeah, ideally, it's going to be all of my organic first feelings and everything. That's the point. So I guarantee when I actually make good on that, it's going to be an absolute mess of incoherence, but it's what she wanted, so that's exactly what you're going to get if I have the guts. Feels kind of good, actually. It feels kind of good. It feels kind of good. All right. I wasn't expecting that. But I'll go ahead and leave the details there for now, because while it's a bit of catharsis, it is also confusing and exhausting. So it's a baby step. It's just like making progress in this stupid game. It's not I can't expect to get all the way to the end, like, on a single attempt when I don't know what's ahead. I just have to take baby steps. And taking another step and not die is a victory. It's what I was telling myself earlier. It's the process. It's all about just making progress. That was close. So, and see, that's the thing. Oh my, that is a bad death. I was distracting myself. I was getting ready to talk about something. What was I saying? Yeah, that was the good thing about getting to the ledge on that one attempt where I died because I climbed on the ledge. Because I learned that. That's the point. Learning about myself. Learning about the game! Like how if you, like, jump on the same frame that you grab the wall, apparently you won't do any vertical momentum thing. Ah! That, oh my God. I'm just really messing up poor Apollo's heels. Here we go. Focus. Yep. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It might be really hard to get back there, but don't feel bad about the fact that you died on that top ledge, because you had to learn that. Ah! Freaking dash! That was really bad. Idiot. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying what Teddy has made. Obviously, she was a rabid hobby artist. It wasn't her main focus in life, but it was something that she really, really loved. Especially drawing characters. She loved drawing, and she loved drawing her own characters for her whole life. Of course, she would draw a bunch of characters from things we liked, like Sonic the Hedgehog and other things. Sonic especially. Because she did it to make me happy, because I was the big Sonic fan. But she also loved music. Stop talking. Focus. Okay, what is that up there? Now that I'm looking at this situation that I find myself in.
There's a skull. Spooky.
Behind the status.
Too spooky for
I guess we can find out, dude. It looks kind of like a skull or something. Is that going to kill me immediately when I get up there? Okay, see, this is where I have to change my train of thought whenever I'm getting ready to face a new section. It's going to kill me. I just have to accept that right off the bat. Whenever I get to a place that I've never gotten to, I'm going to die immediately. That's just the way it is. Because I'm not going to know what's coming. But with that happening, that's the point of making progress, is learning what is coming.
Is that a metaphor?
Let's just go. Stop stalling. What is happening? I'm not dead. Okay. There's no ledge. That's why that's all chewed up over there. Okay, there's no ledge on that thing over there. I just don't. I'm so alive that I don't know what to do. Should I go closer? Should I jump away? I don't know what's to the right though. Should I have jumped? Should I have tried? Is it?
It is kind of interesting to note that the status, I believe, has not changed at all. Right? All throughout this video. The status is going. No matter how many times. Also, the bar has changed from deaths to tries. So what the there's something screwy going on here. I don't know what to make of that. Does that change? Weird. Didn't it say deaths before? Wow. Okay. Don't know what to make of that. Just take note of it for now. We were right here.
Is this another like troll? Like use your words, Will. Is this like another bait area? And I should have just like situated myself on the left side of that little spikes platform, and like that was the way that I progress, and like going over here like ensures that I die. I don't know. We're gonna why am I'm getting caught into hypothesizing again instead of finding out. I have to find out. Okay.
I'm going to come after you. There's no way to stop me. Not even I could stop it. How does that make you feel? Would you prefer that I hadn't told you? Or do you think it's better to know?
Okay. Is this just another leap of faith? I guess I'll try it. Why not? That's not even what killed me! There's just one of these gentlemen, what people have been calling comb enemies, which I can't believe I didn't see that the first time. It totally does look like a comb with a weird floppy spine and legs.
Yeah.
That's so... why should I expect anything different? All right. Well, I'm enjoying this. Okay.
How are you feeling?
Well, Apollo, I'm feeling all right, actually. It's been...
We'll observe that the Apollo character no longer has their back turned. As Bubble Boy noted, it said deaths. I think it changed after the incident with the spikes. So it changed from the death count to tries, which is a bit more of a innocuous way to frame it.
A very, very interesting few weeks, especially the last few days. I had no idea how I was going to feel when I started recording again, but I'm all right. I'm having a lot of fun, and I hope all of you are too. And it's... what she wanted was to be seen, and right now there are people watching every single video, like guaranteed, and that's... It's quite a feeling. And with that, I'll take a break and do some more later. Thank you all so much. See you next time.
Okay. So Will is starting to talk about what happened. Starting to open up a little bit. And I think that's kind of the point. It seems to me. I think we'll watch one more. And then I'm going to call it quits for tonight. I do want to remind you, we've got like a few people watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Please support independent artists. And if you like what I do, please consider supporting me on Patreon. And if you are interested in that, you can go to patreon.com/Nightmare Masterclass. I'll go ahead and include a link in the chat. As I alluded to earlier in the stream, I did just put up a book review for my patrons. So that is available at any tier. I reviewed the book, The Culture of Narcissism by Christopher Lasch. So if you're looking for more theory, criticism, commentary, and analysis, check out my Patreon. Obligatory self-promotion there. And we are on 11. Is that right? Yes.
All right. Break over. Now that I'm in the pause screen, I think I'll show you the state of the pause screen in this new save file. Settings are still not settings, and just this terrifying sequence that I do not want to mess with. Maybe in a different save file. Inventory, I've still only found this one scrap of paper. Apollo's notes are different. I only have this one now.
Sleepies.
Yeah, I can't switch to any others, so nothing doing there. Nothing doing here either. Still no photos. I don't know about the soup of the day. Let me check the bios first.
Yeah. Someone noted earlier the soup of the day is very reminiscent of the book of baby names in Petscop. So I just thought that was an interesting parallel.
Yeah, just these ones. Let's check this out. Yeah, we got a new one. All right, let's hunker down.
Finally, we come upon a soup
Imagine
that I don't mind at all.
Round of applause, everybody, for Teddy liking a soup. Hey, music's back. More applause, please.
Hot and sour soup is one of those things that delights me through. At least that's the case when it's made properly. Plenty of times a cook will hold back, unwilling to commit to a food that is supposed to make you cringe a little. That happened way too often. The fear of allowing something to be what it is. It made me sad every time, because again, it's all too reminiscent of the way people tend to tick in general. It's amazing how our culture treats the idea of cringe like a fate worse than death. I cannot begin to imagine what it's like inside the mind. Sorry. I cannot begin to imagine what it's like inside the mind of that sort of person. The person who sees anything that slightly deviates from their exact perception of what is natural. And their kind solution is to call it cringe. And the terrifying thing is somehow this manages to influence the wider cultural perception of things at an alarming rate. On this night in particular, I spend my disintegration thinking of these people and their victims. The people that anger at the sight of a person having a passion that isn't theirs. The people who retaliate at the sight of a person showing too much passion. I'm reliving what they did to you in 8th grade. That seems important. I'm 13 again, watching your colorful, unique imagination murdered in broad daylight every single day. I'm watching them rip apart the sonic dolls you took to school to help you with your anxiety. I'm listening to all of the cliques whisper about how you should never be treated seriously ever again. Because you dipped carrots in peanut butter at lunch.
I have to be bringing all of this up in front of my fans.
I'm coming home every night watching your interest in everything you enjoyed wither away. I don't know if the cringe landed the way they intended. I mean, I feel like I understand what she's talking about.
Probably mostly your fans anyway.
I'm feeling all of the exact things I felt then, but things are different now. Back then, I had a better outlet. I could attack the water instead. I'm pretty sure the reason I was so dominant at states is... If I hadn't put all those hours in the pool, I would have been in juvie or worse. So I think she's obviously a swimmer. But in doing so, I abandoned you at your weakest point.
Not.
I left you to bleed out alone.
It's just not true. It's just not true.
In the average person's ideal world, the person you wanted to be does not exist. And they were so insistent, so single-mindedly determined, that you had no choice but to believe them. I watched my brother get turned into a zombie, just like the rest of them. Suddenly, I am guaranteed to die without having the time to leave an influence of my own.
You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
I will leave behind a world that is no less inclined to witch hunt sources of quote-unquote cringe. and heroically mangle any truly challenging, inspired passion that stands in their way. I will die knowing that every day some kid out there will continue to be led to the same fate as you. The weirdos will be muscled into a form that everyone else desires, and their song will die out. I wonder just how many of them will end up like Mikey, when they realize society will always make it a constant, miserable war to exist as themselves. I miss Mikey each and every day. I recall that night I convinced you not to follow his lead. I will try to remember simply how important it is that you are alive. So obviously, trigger warning. I should have said this earlier, but trigger warning for mental illness, trigger warning for suicide. It seems to me it's pretty clear. This person, Mikey, she's referring to committed suicide. I think that's what she's getting at. And maybe that was something that the protagonist considered. And Teddy was able to convince him not to do it. This sort of thing she's talking about with respect to quote unquote cringe, because this term is used in a few different ways, but I can easily understand what she's talking about. The sort of there is a general sort of cynicism that pervades our culture, which is kind of inclined to treat people who express themselves in a genuine fashion. There's this idea that is cringe. There is a pervasive sort of sense that, everything has to be coded through like seven different layers of irony and sarcasm. And if you don't do that, well, having a genuine or sincere expression is cringe. I totally get what she's talking about. That there's this sort of pervasive nihilism in our culture. Yeah. Like Bubble Boy says, I think there's a cynicism towards people with genuine passions. Yeah. It's almost a postmodern sort of tendency towards ironic detachment. I think that's correct. I don't know if I would attribute that wholesale to postmodernism. I think that's a very loaded term. If I had to guess, I think it's more easily attributable to certain trends in pop culture. Specifically, maybe during the 90s is really when it took off. This idea that everything has to be kind of like turned into a parody. Everything has to be coded, like I said, in like multiple layers of irony, to the point where if you actually genuinely like express a sincere emotion, people are like, "Whoa, you're kind of going too far there. That's too much for me to handle." Alpha, I think weirdos should have the spine and self-determination to do what they want. Well, unfortunately, it just doesn't work like that. I mean, you really can cause a lot of harm trying to impose on a sensitive person this idea that they cannot be their genuine selves. And as much as you would like them to toughen up, that's just not the right approach, if you ask me. You can't just tell people to toughen up. That's not how it works. It doesn't work. They won't do it. Let's proceed. I think about how your death would have made absolutely no impact at all on how the cringers treat life. But hey, at least you stopped eating carrots with peanut butter. Society at its finest, justice truly prevailed. I want you to do something for your stupid dead sister, all right? Get a carrot and dip it into some peanut butter and take a bite. You don't have to enjoy it as much as you used to. You don't have to finish it. I just want to fall asleep tonight, pretending you won the battle. I want to imagine for just a moment that people tried desperately to destroy you over something that you ate at lunch, and they failed. Pickles with peanut butter are amazing. I once killed a man who scorned me for this. Not really, but I should have. Gross.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I don't think there is any reason I should feel super bad about muting there. It's not like I was like reacting to the game itself in any meaningful way. I was just getting emotional. Nobody needs to hear that.
God damn it. Footnote. So I think the whole point is he's not supposed to mute his emotional responses. And if he's doing that, that's cheating. He's not living up to the promise. Because this is part of the game. This right here is part of the game. So he's doing some mental gymnastics right now in order to avoid conveying his emotions to the public at large. Yeah.
I don't really want to subject anybody to just like... It just seems like it would be unfair and just make people uncomfortable to have to listen to that crap. So, whenever that happens, it's probably what I'll do. I'm sorry. If you want to hear me cry, maybe you'll get your wish at some point. I don't know. It's possible. Probable. Wow, that really took the wind out of my sails. I don't know if I'll be able to continue playing at a decent level, but I do have an idea. Because jumping left up there... Oh. Yeah! Oh! Oh my god! Yo! I just got a huge wave of nostalgic feel-good energy. It changed the chemistry in my entire body, like, instantly. Oh my god, there's something so satisfying about a treasure chest, dude. Oh my gosh. Does that mean there's gonna be so much cool stuff to find in this game? Oh, I have so much hope now. Oh, what do we got in here? What do you have for me? Oh. That's a lot of seemingly nothing. Freaking A, dude. At least Apollo is having a good time. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Wagon.
Is that a mouth? Oh, that doesn't look right. You're not supposed to have a mouth, buddy.
Maybe they can be crafted some sort of art.
Oh, maybe. Man. Apparently that was the correct decision, though. So I could probably land... Yeah, like I was saying, I could probably land on that platform, like, as long as I stay on the left side. But...
Listen to this music.
This works too.
Sounds like a boss battle.
Okay. What's up, buddy?
To be honest, chasing you makes my face hurt really, really bad. I have to reattach my jaw every single time, without hands. My condolences. Well, I mean, yeah, it's not like, not to be a massive prick or anything, but if you could maybe put us through this jig as few times as possible, that'd be great.
I'll do my best, buddy. Okay, so there's an enemy over there. And then past that, I don't know. I just have to learn. I just have to die again and learn. Great. Sorry, we're definitely gonna be doing this again. I'm sorry. It's not my fault, okay? 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 Ah! Okay! I almost accidentally jumped at the right time. I could feel. I'm still so in sync with Teddy's, like, the way her mind works that I almost deducted correctly the next point at which she was going to make me die. Oh, you sadistic. Ugh. Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this. This is so scary! Ah! That's the noise he was making. So that doesn't work. Okay, that answers that little query that I was bringing up. Oh, yeah, okay. I need a moment. Okay, at least I know. At least I know. Sorry, Mr. Skullman.
Music is perfect.
Also, sorry to all my viewers. For one, subjecting you to my singing voice twice in one video. the second time was very involuntary. And two, for... Oh, no! Also, sorry for subjecting you to what was probably an extremely loud noise. Rip microphone users. Rip headphone users and rip me. Ah. His poor knee and foot.
Like the little edits here.
Ah. 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 Oh, darn it. Oh, it's so thin. I'm definitely feeling the rhythm here, though. It's kind of fun. I like this section, actually. At least I do now. Let's see how I'm feeling when I have to do it 10 billion more times. I thought I grabbed the ledge. Okay, I can't believe I'm still alive. Okay, now I have to grab the ledge on my left. No! How was that not it?
Painful.
Okay, whatever. Whatever, it's just ridiculously hard. It's cool. Can't believe I've done it twice already. The first time was an absolute fluke. I had no idea what I was doing. I actually thought that I died the first time. So it's actually a miracle that I've made it up there twice at this point. Ah! God! It's so thin. Same thing with this one. That should be it. Nope! Nope!
He's not going to get through this in this video.
Alright. Oh no! Ugh. Okay, I'm overcorrecting now. Don't let that get to your head. Just keep doing the way you've been doing it. You've been doing great. Come on. No, don't build up tension in this part. So far, I haven't been feeling much pressure whenever I make progress because I've been doing so well at getting back to where I was. If I start doing this... No! Okay, don't let it freak you out. This is just a little lull. You're still good at it. It's okay. Don't let it get to you. Don't let it get to you! No! No!
It's a good point. Bubble Boy says, the leap of faith seems to be a recurring motif. I wonder where he's going with that. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh! No! All I can do is die! Oh, okay. Good thing I missed the jump there. That actually was accidental that I survived. Ah! Okay, yeah, definitely my antsiness has increased. That stinks. I'm back to being anxious. That's the thing that I was happy about not having during this session so far. And now we're building it up. It wouldn't be diminished without me being in an absolute panic the whole time. I thought that it was the same height! God. Here we go, here we go. I'm getting a little pooped on my nuggets. What was that sentence?
Yeah. Taking a break.
Oh my god. I wish we had crunchy.
Okay, so that was him eating the carrots at the end. That's good. He did the thing. Holy shit. So this latest one is an hour long? Wow. Well, I still have a ways to go before I get there. But that is, that might require its own... This might require just one live stream session right here. Wow. Yeah. Carrots in the chat. Put your carrots in the chat to pay respects. Never enjoyed playing these kinds of games. Watching is a different story. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Like games that are intentionally infuriating, I can't do it. I don't have the patience. What I will say is, at this point, I have finished the 11th video. I think we're going to call it quits. I told myself I would do a 3-hour stream. I think if I go much longer, you're not going to get the energy level necessary for me to really provide some good insights. Thank you for the carrots. These are some beautiful carrots in the chat. So that wraps it up for this installment of Nightmare Masterclass. Again, please subscribe to Diminish. They have just gotten 500 subscribers, so that's cool. But I think they deserve more. So if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you enjoy my stuff, please consider supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/Nightmare Masterclass. I have a number of tiers, so check it out. See what works for you. And we'll leave it at that. Take care.